Hello Digimon fans, welcome back to another new Digimon card news announcement video. And yes, we're going to be covering the leaks for BT08 New Hero once again. There's a lot to actually cover from the last time since we left off. We did two other videos covering as much as we could so far. And if you guys haven't watched it yet, be sure to check those two videos out as well. There's a lot of cool things to go through. But yes, today we got something really nice. As today we just found out that Imperialdramon Paladin Mode is finally reviewed, and it's a secret rare. Of course, we're not super surprised because this set is all about the second season, the Adventure 02 series with basically Imperialdramon. So having Paladin Mode is no surprise, but we've been always waiting and anticipating what it actually does. So once again, there's a lot of cards to go through today, guys, but I'm going to focus more on the more impactful and the bigger ones like the megas and so on, so that we won't take too much time. But first of all, Imperialdramon Paladin Mode. It's a 15 cost hard drop. It's cost 7 to digivolve on top of a blue or green Digimon essentially, and that's a lot to pay for. It's one of the most expensive level 7s ever, but itself it's white. It has 16,000 DP, being the highest base DP stat Digimon out there ever yet so far. So, you know, I'm really excited to see. I love the artwork, it looks great. I love the white and gold and blue armor theme, all to it together just works very well. Perfect on this. Anyways, effect number 1, when your Digimon digivolves into this card from your hand, you can return a level 7 white Digimon from your trash back to the bottom of your deck to reduce the cost by 4. It sounds okay, it sounds neat because you can, then digivolve by with 3 only, retaining your turn in most cases and do more plays afterwards. But how often are you going to have a level 7 white Digimon in your trash prior to this? It's going to be a little bit more interesting discussion and topic because from what I know, Imperialdramon decks don't really focus on trashing cards from your hand and stuff like that or from your deck to fuel that level 7, right? Because I'm imagining right now that we're going to have to summon some kind of level 7 first, have it end up in the trash somehow, and then really utilize this reducing digivolution cost effect through that. And yeah, I would just feel like my first impression is kind of slow, honestly. So that's how I feel so far. But it has a second effect, which is really nice. Effect number 2 is when digivolving and when attacking, basically. So you can return a 2-colored card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, and then trash all Digivolution cards from one of your opponent's Digimon. That wipes out all inherited effects, essentially. That's really good. And then return all your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution sources back to the bottom of the deck in any order. So essentially that Digimon you choose will basically have its inheritable skills wiped out completely, and you basically return that exact Digimon to the bottom of the deck, and along with other ones as well. So that's a really good effect, I think, because you can use it consistently. Usually, this Digimon will have 2 or 3 or even 4 stacks of resources of double colored Digimon for it to use as effect. So I think it's pretty decent, but overall I'm a little bit underwhelmed on what this card does. I was thinking of something more powerful, but maybe I'm just personally underestimating. But if you guys don't feel that way, be sure to share your comments and opinions down below. So that's really exciting. And yes, so we'll spend most time talking about this card right here. The next card we have Ganryumon, which is great, great addition to X-Antibody, Alphamon, and the whole Oriocuemon archetype right here. Basically gives it blocker, fantastic. And then we have Azulonmon, which is very nice. I didn't expect to have this here. It only has 11k DP, but when attacking, you can trash the top card of your security to gain 2 memory, really combining the elements of yellow and blue together with manipulating your security and gaining memory. That's like blue and yellow effects, specialty put together, which is really nice. Your turn once per turn, when you digivolve one of your other Digimon, you can unsuspend that Digimon. So really nice because you can also attack, swing in, and then digivolve, and then unsuspend, and then swing in again. So make more swings to get a lot of good value out of it too. Next we have Gigadef. We've seen this card in the previous leaks already, but I think here is a high resolution image of it this time. So once again, a really powerful option card that basically helps you board wipe. 9 costs is a lot, but with security instead, you get to rest one of your opponent's Digimon and then choose one of your opponent's rested Digimon, suspended one basically, and send it to the bottom of the deck. Basically send anything with this card essentially. Next right here, we got some Captain Hookman and Namakemon right here. I'm not going to go too much in detail on these guys, just generic support for blue and green as well. And then another dual color Digimon, we got Dinohumon, providing extra DP reduction as inherited as a champion, which is great. And then we have Coin, which is a new option. I definitely want to, think that this card might be, don't underestimate this one as a matter of fact, because this card I think is going to be really good. For each of your opponent's Digimon, reduce the play cost of this card from your hand by 1 already. So very good board wiping potential. I can see just this is clearly just aiming to shut down any rookie rush strategies when your opponent tries to go wide, essentially. Main effect is delete all your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or lower. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot play any Digimons by effect, basically. So they can't basically special summon any Digimon or play via any effect. They all have to pay memory to play at that point, which is really good. So definitely keep that in mind. Security, resolve this card's main effect. I think this option card is just fantastic. All it takes is to have your opponent to have 3 Digimon, and this becomes a 3 cost option. Really good. Next we have FrostVelgamon, and this is really cool card, and I really like the artwork of this because it reminds me of like Articuno for Pokemon. And then right here at the bottom from the very early release cards, we had Shacomon right here, which is like a phoenix and looks like Moltres, and maybe I don't know if there's like kind of Zapdos looking Digimon yet, but that'll be pretty cool. Anyways, giving blue more support as a Digivolve for to cost. When Digivolving, you get to trash sources at the top of your opponent's sources, basically, their top source, essentially. And then return one of your opponent's Digimon without any Digivolution sources back to their hand. So that's very nice. Again, supplying more trashing Digivolution. Gonna be really good along with Hexablau and the other Azulomon from BT6. Speaking of BT6, I really hope we get ours soon. But yeah. Effect number 2. Opponent's turn, all your opponent's Digimon gets when attacking, they have to trash the bottom of their source in order to attack, basically. And this can pair up very well together with Hexablau, once again, like I mentioned. So I think it's a really great card. Next, we have more Tyrannomon support, extra security attacks. I'm not going to talk about too much about this one. New memory boost for purple, directly supporting Devimon's, basically getting to trash more cards from your deck, draw a card, and then gain 2 memory for memory boost. And now this one, we have another secret rare right here, which is one of the 7 demon lords, which is Demon or Demon. That'll be really interesting. I wonder how that's going to be translated in English, but if they keep it, you just call it Demon, essentially. Effect number 1, when Digivolving, you get to trash 2 cards from your top of your deck for each of your opponent's Digimon. If they have like 2 or 3, you basically trash 2, 4, 6, and 8, and so on. And then when 4 or more cards were trashed via this effect, you can play a purple level 5 or lower from your trash without paying memory cost. Now that's huge, because being able to play a level 5 or lower is just really great, because it sets you up for next turn mega plays. You can go for Chimeramons and stuff like that and pop more stuff, which is pretty interesting. Effect number 2 is once per turn when attacking, for every 10 cards in your trash, you get to trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and then this Digimon gains 3000 DP. Boosting it all the way to 14k is huge, because that will be making it much more stronger. But not only that, this is the first cards that actually actively mills your opponent's deck only, essentially, and you can probably come up with sort of deck out strategy via this. We currently have Ghazimon, which does trash, but you trash yourself as well, so you're not really trying to get the win condition through milling, essentially. But this one can actually enable that kind of strategy, which is really good. Next we have Shacomon. For sure, we haven't seen this one yet. This is definitely included. Jogress for yellow and blue at 0 cost. When Digivolving, if you have 5 or less cards in your security, you get to recover 1. And then if you draw against Digivolve, you get to return one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is equal or below to the number of your security cards. If you have 5, you recover 1, you go to 6, you can basically return a level 6 Digimon, I think. So that's really neat. But if not, returning anything that's like level 5 or below is great as well, fantastic. So make sure you always want to Jogress Digivolve this card. And then it has another effect which is inherited. When attacking, one of your opponents Digimon lose 3000 DP, which is great. And then the option card for it, basically, more DP reduction cards. If you have more colors of Jogress colors, essentially double colored Digimon, you get to minus 6000 DP instead, which is great. And then we have Kilomon, again, really good support that basically bridges it and makes it even stronger. If you have a blue Digimon in play, you can play this cost is reduced by 1, making it a 3-drop champion 4k DP, which is great. 2 to Digivolve is also really great already by itself, because it gives an inheritable of if you have a blue Digimon during this turn, one of your opponents gets basically minus 3000 DP when attacking. So a lot of DP reduction stuff as usual with the yellow things, yellow specialty. Next we have Kilomon. I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but this one right here we have Historio Mon, which is a very cool card. Once again, X antibody support. Mainly first I'm going to talk about the inherited effect. If it has X antibody, it gets reboot, so that's great because then it'll combo very well with the one up here that we saw in the beginning. Which is Ganryumon, so you can do reboot blocker for your X antibody, which is fantastic. And honestly, you know, with a toy Agumon, you know, that's good enough already, but then it has a, you know, main effect basically. Your turn, when the number of evolution source of this Digimon increases, so basically whenever you add more sources into it, you can evolve this card into X antibody type from your hand by paying its evolution cost. If you evolve this way or digivolve, the cost of the digivolve cost is decreased by 1, which makes it even cheaper to go into your level 6, which is really great. Hopefully in most cases you can retain your turn through this card, so I'm really happy to hear and see this. Right here we got some just quick cards to show from starter deck 11, just reprints of cards that we already seen. But anyways, this one here is really big. So we have Chimeramon, and this card is a white level 5 Digimon with 8000 DP, 4 to Digivolve on any color you want, 8 to hard drop, but you probably won't hard drop. So what happens is this can Jogress Digivolve with any 2 Digimon that's level 4 at 0 cost. Now the really good thing is, when Digivolving, you can put 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of its sources. And then until the end of your opponent's next turn, up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for each color that this Digimon has. Now, if you play a lot of Jogress or dual color Digimon, then you can easily stack up lots of different colors and basically minus a lot of DP on your opponent, and then basically, yeah, do a whole lot of control stuff, and that's really cool. But that's not the only effect, because it also has a second effect, is during your turn that this Digimon gets the color of all the Digivolution cards. When this Digimon has 4 or more colors, it gets 4000 DP, boosting it all the way to 12k, which is essentially any standard Mega Digimon. Now that's really cool, and I really like it because this enables so many different varieties of strategies for multiple different decks. It can splash in together in almost any color decks as long as you can utilize it for more colors. And it's just fantastic. It's great. It's a very great level 5. It's extremely powerful. I can see it's a really great card to be including in so many decks coming. Anyways, more Ghazimon, just a vanilla drop, 2 drop, 3000. We got a tamer for it, Digimon Kaiser. We're not going to talk too much about this one. We got another card that's sort of part of Pulsemon's Digivolution, new one for its champion level. Pretty cool stuff. And then we have Ultimate Brachiomon, which is basically a standard new dual colored Mega, but it's a vanilla Mega. Usually the vanilla Megas cost 2, but this time this one costs 3, but it gives it 13,000 DP, establishing a new stat standard for Mega Vanillas. Also has dual color, which is great. And then we have Skull Knightmon, Cavalier Mode. Some more support for Skull Knightmons to basically help. And you can Digivolve this on top of a level 4 for a cost of 1, or Digivolve on top of a level 3 for a cost of 3, and does a whole bunch of effects, which is really nice. We have Rappamon right here. Of course, Rappamon looks just really cool in its gold armor form, and it's just really nice. Armor Purge, we all know what it does already. It, you know, basically it's sort of like a protection thing. But however, its own main effect is when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each tamer you have in play. So kind of like a Shine Greymon with green elements put together, of course, because it's a dual color of yellow and green, and I really like that. And then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon, they get minus 5000 DP for the turn. Now that's really good. You can potentially board wipe their cards out there, and it's just really nice. And then we have Cherubimon, new support. Cherubimon, this one basically can come out by deleting your own purple one, the evil version, and then you bring out this nice angel version. It's most intended to be hard play, because by hard playing it, you can reduce its cost by 8, essentially making it 3, which is really nice. And on play, it gives you a bit of defensive capabilities by, you know, having your opponent's Digimon have secreting -2 until the end of the next turn. Next, we have armor related option right here, just to help you get into your armor cards and switch over into a different armor Digimon very quickly, which is really nice. I'm not going to go too much in detail on these ones. You guys can read for yourself once again, and I'll include the link in the description box down below so you guys can see more. Kamiya right here to support yellow as a tamer, setting your memory at 3 at the beginning of every turn, but also letting you gain a memory every time you recover a security, which is really nice. And then we have Willis, which is basically a tamer for Rappamon, Terriermon, and Gargomon, and supporting them as well to reduce Digivolution costs essentially. And then we have Plasma Shot. That this one can actually be used, you know, regardless of the colors that you have, as long as you have a armor kind of type of Digimon. And you know, with DP reduction stuff, you know, taking out Digimon, minusing DP and stuff like that as usual. Skull Satamon right here with FrostVelgamon, just more support for generic for purple and blue, as well as green right here, Pissmon. And then this card right here is really interesting because this is part of Pulsemon's separate Digivolution line that goes all the way to its Mega level 6. Right here we have Shivaman, and it's really powerful, I think. Effect number 1, opponent's turn. If all your opponent's Digimon are suspended, your opponent cannot play option cards. That's just straight up like no options, not allowed. And it's only just for the Digivolve, which is not bad at all. 12k DP, pretty standard. Its second effect is even more insane, I think. Your opponent, when this Digimon, during your turn, sorry, when this Digimon is unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, your opponent trashes 1 card from the top of their security. I mean, what? Just straight up like every turn you just keep trashing their security? That's just insane. Yeah, this is a really powerful card. But yeah, definitely very strong. I just feel in theory on paper this card is just really good, but maybe it won't be as good when it comes out, who knows. And then we have Kilomon, of course, with Inoue Miyako, basically the tamer for it, you know, more red support. And then we have Betsumon right here, which is very interesting. I think is it Digivolve from Gatomon or Teomon? It's just it's just a really funny looking card. You can just see his face essentially, but really cool because when Digivolving, by trashing 1 card from your hand, it also gains the color of that trash card, and it becomes a dual color Digimon. Then if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, you get to draw 2 cards. That's great. That's insane. And then yeah, that basically rounds up to the bottom right here with the Pulsemon where we left off from last time, and that is basically all the leaks we have to cover. And yeah, exciting news is that Japan's going to be getting this set next week, so I don't know if we're going to get more news about it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be more leaks as we come. We're going to be seeing the full set very soon, and that is really exciting. So if you guys enjoyed the news video, be sure to give this video a like. Let me know in the comments down below once again what you guys think. You know, if you guys have any opinions to share, what do you guys think about this new Imperialdramon Paladin Mode? You know, I'm super excited for this set overall. Really cool stuff so far, and it's just getting me even more hyped. But for the English version, yeah, it's gonna be a while for us because we still haven't gotten BT6 yet. We should be getting it real soon in a couple of days or next week, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. But yeah, really something that I look forward to and really excited about. So yeah, as always, if you guys haven't yet, be sure to subscribe for more Digimon content and news channels on this videos. If you guys enjoy these kind of news videos, once again, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I really appreciate your support. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And this is AVAULT signing out.